Ready.
Hi, everybody from Nelsonville-York High School. It's April the 14th, 2025. The Nelsonville-York varsity baseball team hosting the Vinton County Vikings.
And Jim, we got a little early start here. The officials, for good reason, got this ball game started early because of the storms that are brewing and coming in, and we're dealing with the rain already, and so probably a smart move by the umpires.
Vinton County, their leadoff hitter, did reach on an error, but
Yeah.
he eventually was thrown out trying to steal at third base.
Right. And then the next batter, Holcomb, popped out to the catcher, and I missed the third out there, Jim, so I'm not sure if you caught it or not.
So the Buckeyes will be coming to bat in the bottom of the first, no score.
Yeah, the very first play, I think it was on the second pitch of the game, Vinton County was a nice, good contact down the third base line. Our third baseman made a nice play on it. Throw was a little bit low, and so it skipped underneath the first baseman's glove, and they were able to advance to second base. But then on the very next pitch to the next batter, he was thrown out at third, trying to steal.
Cameron Sullivan throwing him out.
Real nice ball by Sullivan.
Micah Morrison on camera and Corbin Wilbur on streaming. Tad Steinbrink, Jim McCumber here on Total Media Sports. Getting the Buckeyes coming to bat in the bottom of the first inning. Leading off for the Buckeyes, Walker Stone. Wind in the pitch, and that'll be strike one call.
Looked like he started him off with an off-speed pitch.
Jackson Walker pitching for Vinton County. Delivers the 0-1, and that's called.
Boy, two nice pitches to start out the game, no doubt.
0-2 count to Walker Stone. The wind in the pitch, and it's grounded towards third, but that will go foul. Count remains at 0-2. Of course, there's a chance of storms and rain here today.
I'll be honest with the viewers, Jim. I'll be really surprised if we get this full game in, but we're going to try to get in what we can. And we don't have our cameras positioned where we would like them, just simply because of the pending weather. And so we got to make sure everybody's safe.
Ball one to Walker Stone, 1-2 count. Jackson Walker winds up, delivers the pitch a little bit high, 2-2. Leadoff hitter for the Buckeyes here in the bottom of the first, Walker Stone. Wind in the pitch, and that's sent to left field. The left fielder is under it, calling for it, and he makes the catch. One down here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, Stone there, he was a little bit, I think it was an off-speed pitch, and just he had to slow down his bat swing, and he got under the ball. But you can tell he's seeing the ball well.
Braden West making that catch for Vinton County. Dallas Snyder batting for Nelsonville-York, a swing and a miss on the first pitch. Jackson Walker with the wind, the pitch, and that'll be high. Ball one, 1-1.
Mm-hmm. Pretty kind of a 12-6 curveball there, and fooled the batter a little bit, but it wasn't in the strike zone.
1-1 pitch, and that's called strike two. 1-2 the count to Dallas Snyder. And that one's popped up towards left field as well. And the catch is made once again by Braden West.
This will be my first time seeing Vinton County, and Walker here, the pitcher. You can tell already he has a pretty good command of control of his pitches, and it looks like he has several different options to choose from. And here we go. I think the umpires are waving us in. Must have been a lightning strike that we didn't see.
So no score here in the bottom of the first. Buckeyes with 2 outs, nobody on, and we're under a delay here at Nelsonville-York High School. Under a weather delay.
Yeah, and the officials, they know what's coming. Now, with modern technology, everybody can look at the same radar, and they know that there's some potential for some serious storms. And the last thing they want to happen is anything for the players or the spectators or even us, Jim, to be at risk of being in danger here due to the weather. But it looks like both pitchers for both teams so far, has pretty good command. Often when you watch some high school baseball, you might have some issues early on in those early innings just for the pitchers to, get control and get their nerves under control. But both seem pretty comfortable there so far in this first inning.
Yes, so far Jackson Walker for Vinton County getting the first 2 out for the Vikings, and the Buckeyes Dallas Snyder.
Yeah.
Didn't give up anything there in the top of the first.
Yeah, there was the error to start the game out, and they did a nice job. Obviously, again, as you mentioned, camera steal, and then from there on, the Buckeyes were able to finish out the inning.
Again, if you just joined us, we're under a weather delay here at Nelsonville-York High School in this
Jim,
baseball game.
I didn't get to catch all of the last game. I was just able to watch a little bit. I was on the road last game. What can you tell the viewers? What happened in our last game?
Well, Wellston right off the bat jumped all over the Buckeyes 6-0 at the end of one. Mm-hmm. In fact, 5 of their 6 runs were knocked in with 2 outs, so they did a good job of clutch hitting for the Golden Rockets. And, of course, the Buckeyes were never able to recover from that. Zach Richardson with the lone RBI single for the Buckeyes, knocking in Walker Stone, and the Buckeyes were defeated 11-1.
Yep. Yeah, and it's early in the season. That was the Buckeyes' first home game, wasn't it? Against Wellston, I believe so. That was their first home game. I was looking at both the baseball and softball schedule, and I think maybe the first 4 or 5 games were on the road. And I don't know if that was just a scheduling decision or why that was, but this being only this that the Buckeyes have played, and already they're getting delayed, so it's kind of hard to get kind of into a groove on your home field when you're dealing with situations like this.
And again, it's always hard for baseball and softball in high school in Ohio to get all their games in. You either have freezing cold weather like we had Friday night.
Right, or something like this.
Or it's raining and storming.
Yeah, it's definitely the season, so it's not surprising. But we'll see. We'll see if we can get something in here. Yeah, Jane, the officials just walked by saying, "Nope, you're going to have to go to a broadcast of something else." Well, we don't have enough games to replace.
maybe we can get them 2 to wrestle for us.
Yeah, there we go. Little mud wrestling by the umpires out there in the field. Yeah, this field's in pretty good shape with all the rain that we had last week, and obviously dealing with some difficult weather here recently, but this field has taken it well, and it's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, and of course Buckeyes with the grass infield, that always helps. Used to be hardly anybody had the grass infields, but now more and more do have them. And
I'm not sure why that is. I'm a student of the game, but I'm not that much of a student of the game. There was that period, really, basically when I was in school and even before, where it seemed like all the fields were dirt infields. Whereas you go back in baseball history, prior to that, every field was a grass infield, it seemed like.
Both teams in their respective dugouts, hoping they'll be able to play ball again here this evening.
I'm gonna look. I wasn't able to catch Vinton County's record so far this year, but we'll see if we can't find it here.
Buckeye record overall is 1-5. They are 0-3 in the Ohio division of the TVC.
Okay. Now we'll also be covering a few of the softball games The ladies, I don't know if they're playing today or not. I tried to look that up, but I wasn't able to find it. And I know they're playing some of their games over there on the other field, right?
Yes, I believe in a TVC game that they would be
Yeah.
playing Vinton County as well tonight.
Yeah. So I'm sure they're dealing with the same issue we're dealing with.
Right now, the rain's not
You can,
hardly falling
you
at
can
all.
tell
But
something's
again,
about to happen the way that wind's picking up, though.
yes, the wind is really blowing, and now we
There's a
just saw
lightning
another
strike, yeah.
lightning flash.
Yeah, so folks, we're going to have to ourselves, kind of get out from out of the weather here. We don't want, our team to be in danger in any way. So at least temporarily, we're going to have to take and see what happens, okay?
Crank it up with the Pure Rock Radio Network, your home for classic rock that really rocks. Tune in to Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5 for the greatest hits, local sports action, and your favorite morning crew, Porter's Place, featuring Rodney Porterhouse Tomlin, comedian Jay Snide, and the HR. From Bobcats football and basketball to unbeatable giveaways, we've got your back. Pure Rock Radio Network, where local voices meet legendary rock. Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5. Turn it up.
Well, we're back here at Nelson.
And I think it's actually starting to rain the hardest that it's rained so far. But the thunder and lightning, it looks like, we were lucky. It kind of went all around us, I think. Yeah, so the players getting warmed back up here for the restart of the game. And I think we're in the bottom of the first here, right, Jim?
Yes, bottom of the first. Vinton County didn't score in their inning. The Buckeyes' first two batters flew out to left field, Walker Stone and Dallas Snyder. So Buckeyes nobody on and 2 outs as we'll continue the bottom of the first inning. Logan Meek will be batting for the Buckeyes, hitting third in the Buckeye lineup.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see, anytime you got a break, you really didn't even get started into the game, and you have to take a break, and you have to try to get your body warmed back up and ready to go. So here's the first pitch of the return.
Jackson Walker of Vinton County with the pitch, and it's called a strike.
And I wouldn't be surprised if the umpire isn't a little bit generous with the strike zone, considering the weather conditions.
The wind and the pitch, and a swing and a miss.
Yeah, Walker for Vinton County really does a nice job of changing up the speed of the pitches.
He pitches the 0-2, and that
caught
hit
his foot, yeah.
That hit Logan Meek, so he'll head on to first. Cleanup hitter will hit for the Buckeyes, Cameron Sullivan.
And there's the kind of balls I like to get hit by, Jim, if I'm going to get hit by one. A nice 55-mile-an-hour slow curveball that just barely touches your foot.
Not an 80 mile per hour into the rib cage.
No, I don't want any part of that.
Throw over to first, and Meek's back.
Yep. Yeah, you wouldn't be surprised if Buckeyes don't try to attempt to steal here. Take advantage of that mistake by the pitcher.
First pitch to Cameron Sullivan, a little bit low.
Yeah, this is the hardest it's rained since we went to the break right now.
Jackson Walker on the mound for the Vikings. He delivers to the plate, a swing and a miss by Cameron Sullivan, and he might have been protecting Meek on that one.
I think that was probably a little
second.
Yeah, low hit and run action there. Meek had a great lead and break on the pitch, and but if the coach calls for a hit and run, then you got to protect the runner and swing away.
That was an Athens Sports Cycle stolen base.
There we go.
That one down low. 2-1 is the count on Cam Sullivan. Logan Meek out at second base in scoring position, 2 out. And a swing and a miss, 2-2 to Cameron Sullivan.
The Buckeye hitters so far kind of struggling with the off-speed pitch that this VC pitcher presents.
Walker with the delivery, and that's fouled off by Cam Sullivan.
Just got a piece there. Just got enough piece to stay alive.
Count remains 2-2. Buckeyes 2 down here in the bottom of the first. No score. Runner at second base. Jackson Walker out of the stretch, and a swing and a miss. Cameron Sullivan goes down on the strikes, and that'll be the end of the first inning. No score between the Buckeyes and the Vikings.
No score. Again, both pitchers so far in this first inning doing a nice job of controlling the game, changing up the speed of their pitches, and hopefully, looks like the sky might be a little bit brighter back there, lightening up a little bit. So hopefully with this, we will be able to get this game in, Jim.
Of course, we appreciate our sponsors for Nelsonville-York.
Always.
Buckeye Baseball and Softball.
Yep, Rocky Outdoor Gear Store, Hocking Valley Motors, Air Claws Heating and Cooling, and Athens Sports Cycles.
Again, they allow you to watch Buckeye Baseball and Softball free of charge.
Yes. Yep, couldn't happen without them. And, we've been able to get through the football season, and then, first time total media covering Nelsonville-York after the long history of Nelsonville TV cable. And so it's been fun. We've been able to do what we can, and dealing with some technical issues early on in the season, but we got through it and we were able to enjoy the season. And I know you have a lot of listeners and followers and watchers out there in Florida and across the country, Jim, that likes to tune in and watch our Buckeyes play, no matter what the sport is.
So we head to the top of the second inning. Vinton County coming to the plate. Their cleanup hitter will lead it off, Jace Moore. Again on the mound for the Buckeyes is Dallas Snyder.
Yeah, and Snyder did a really nice job after giving up. Well, he didn't give it up. It was just an error with the first hitter of the game, and then we're able to throw him out at third base and get the next 2 outs and get out of the inning clean.
So Vinton County's Jace Moore will lead it off for the Vikings here in the top of the second. Dallas Snyder with the wind and the pitch, and that's low, ball 1. Snyder with the 1-0, and that's high, ball 2. And the third one is ball 3. And again, as you mentioned earlier, it's hard to come back out here. He seemed to be really sharp, Dallas Snyder was in the top of the first inning, but now you come back after a little layoff and the mound's wet, the rubber's wet that you're stepping on.
Yeah, it sure is. He'll figure it out, though.
And he delivers a strike, 3-1. Three-one pitch, and that's strike
nice
2.
pitch.
He's battled back to get the count full.
That's a real nice pitch around the outside corner.
Jace Moore at the plate for Vinton County. 3-2 pitch, ground ball, and that is a foul ball.
Oof, that was just foul.
Hit down the line, third base line. Full count on Jace Moore. Dallas Snyder with the 3-2 pitch and a little poke, and that'll be up the middle for a base hit for the Vikings. Nice piece of hitting there by Jace Moore. Just went with the pitch.
Yep. Just put it right back up to
almost
the box.
like a softball hit.
Yeah.
Just placing it.
Yeah. Defensive swing, just, kind of putting it where he could, and it was in a perfect spot. Second baseman couldn't get to it.
So now Cole Ousley will hit. He's the DH. The pitch is high, 1-0. Again, Cameron Sullivan gunned down the leadoff hitter at third base trying to steal, so Vinton County might be a little more hesitant about running on
absolutely.
Cameron Sullivan.
Well, this guy's taking a pretty big lead at first. There he goes.
And there he goes. Ground ball, and that's foul down the third base line. 1-1 is the count.
Yeah, it might be wise for Dallas to throw back over here to first base a couple more times, keep that kid honest at first. That was a pretty significant lead he had there.
And the throw over to first.
He was leaning.
Runner back.
He was leaning.
Cole Ousley at the plate. Pitch, a little bit low, 2-1. Nobody out. Vinton County with a runner at first and Jace Moore. Here in the top of the second, no score.
You see Dallas is trying to work to keep his hands dry.
And that one's low. 3-1 is the count. Pitch, and that's hit towards left field. Hit pretty far back, and that's
off the
going to
fence.
hit off the fence, as Tad said. Runner coming to third, and he'll be in safe. And that will be a double for Cole Ousley.
Yeah, that ball got up in the air and it just carried, and you can tell that that was the case because the runner at first base thought it was going to get caught, and so he held and held and held for as long as he could until the ball basically bounced into the fence. And again, that was a nice piece of hitting by the hitter.
Hocking Valley Motors long drive there by Cole Ousley. He gets a double. Second and third, nobody out for Vinton County here in the top of the second. No score. Hit towards the shortstop, and the runner going to third slipped and fell, and he's going to be in safe at home. Runner from first goes to second, and he may be out, and he is.
He is. Yeah, our shortstop there, and the guy I'm still learning some of these numbers here. Levi Smeeden, he's kind of a difficult hop. Or is that Smeeden, or is that? We're still trying to get some of these numbers hashed out here. Is that Blair?
That shortstop, Stevie Blair.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Blair. I'm sorry. Yeah, just had a little difficulty there, kind of in between hop. And the guy that was on second, running to third, circled third, was planning on going home and kind of got caught in between.
And he slipped and fell down.
Yeah.
Buckeyes get the second out of the inning as it's hit back to Dallas Snyder, and he throws over to Logan Meek at first base for the out. Yeah. That was Wyatt Channel for Vinton County. Now pitch called strike, 0-1 count. Ground ball to third. Pulls Meek off the base, but he tags the runner out. That was Austin Fott.
Yeah.
So Buckeyes get out of it sitting, but the Vikings put 2 runs on the board in the top of the second, and they lead the Buckeyes 2-0.
Yeah. Probably could have got out of that inning with, maybe perhaps just 1 run scoring, but Blair did nice. Once the error was committed at shortstop, he made the right decision throwing to third because that runner was going to try to go back to third. But then, once that ball came to third, he committed to home, and the Buckeyes just weren't able to get to a good throw to home plate. But give credit to Cameron Sullivan, quickly heads up, knowing that the runner at first was trying to advance to second. He threw him out at second. Otherwise, that could have been a much worse inning.
So Vinton County with the 2-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the second. Buckeyes will have Zach Richardson leading off, Caleb Rexford, and then Stevie Blair.
The officials, I don't know if that's our grounds crew guy there that the officials are talking to, that water is starting to puddle up a little bit around the first base area, but the field seems to be holding it okay.
Yeah, our weather delay earlier, again, it was all because of lightning. There was some lightning flashing around, but there wasn't much rain at all. But as you said, once that it had been more than a half hour without any lightning flashes, and they decided to play, the rain was really coming down.
Right.
Then.
Yeah, it's like the rain waited until all the lightning was gone to start really coming down.
Head coach for the Buckeyes, Josh Stalder. Assistant coaches Chad Inman and Max Brooks. Head coach for Vinton County, Jake Brown. He's assisted by Jacob Wells and Garrett Clark. Zach Richardson comes to the plate for the Buckeyes. He'll lead off the bottom of the second for Nelsonville-York. Again, Vinton County plated 2 runs in the top of the second. Ground ball up the middle. Shortstop unable to come up with it, and I believe that would go down as a base hit. Shortstop had to come a long way for that.
Yeah, and the professionals, that probably would go down as an error, but yeah, it was a tough play. A lot of ground to cover there on that one, and plus I'm sure the ball's wet rolling through it all the way through the infield there.
Now batting for the Buckeyes, Caleb Rexford. The pitch, and that's ball one. Getting Zach Richardson on first for the Buckeyes. Pitcher Jackson Walker delivers, and a swing and a miss by Caleb Rexford. One count. And a swing and a miss, 1-2.
Yeah, the off timing pitch that Vinton County's pitchers presenting here is really giving the Buckeyes fits so far.
Jackson Walker pitching for the Vikings out of the stretch. 1-2 pitch, and that's popped up, and that'll go out of play down the third baseline.
Yeah, Rexford did a better job there staying back on the ball.
Buckeyes down 2-0 here in the bottom of the second. They've got a man at first, nobody out. Caleb Rexford, and that'll be ball 2-2. Pitch, grounder towards short. They throw to second, and they get the lead runner in Zach Richardson. So Caleb Rexford will be at first base. The runner, Zach Richardson, forced out at second.
Yeah, just the ball wasn't hit hard enough, quite hard enough to attempt a double play.
Stevie Blair will hit for the Buckeyes. One out and a runner at first. Here in the bottom of the second. Vinton County leading 2-0.
I'm not sure what's happening here. Rexford's coming off the field for some reason.
So the Buckeyes,
they must have called him out for something. Did he run out of the baseline? Run into the...
And that'll be the third out as Stevie Blair pops out to first.
I'm not sure what happened there.
So we head to the top of the third inning. 2-0.
Did we miss a hidden ball trick there or something, Jim? I missed it. I'm going to have to go back and watch the replay because I was sitting there writing down some scoring things and looked up and he was out. They were calling him out. It certainly wasn't during the play that we watched.
Rain continues to come down pretty hard here at Nelsonville-York. Our streaming guy, Corbin Wilbur, our technical engineer, he's doing a good job keeping things dry.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
Even though we have a canopy, things are blowing in at times.
Yeah, our center field camera guy, he's out there all by his lonesome, covered up on a tarp and everything else, trying to do everything he can to stay dry and try to keep the camera dry as well. And we have the other camera positioned underneath us, underneath this canopy. I'm sure you guys can hear the rain pounding off this canopy. And so we're trying to do everything we can to bring this game to you, but it's getting a little bit difficult. And coaches and everybody else are also doing their job of trying to maintain the field and try to keep it safe as they can for the players.
Ryland Brown will lead off the top of the third inning for Vinton County. That's high, ball one. Dallas Snyder still on the mound for the Buckeyes. The wind and the pitch, and a swing and a miss.
Yeah, and Dallas really doesn't have anything out there other than his uniform to help keep his hands dry.
1-1 pitch. A little bit high, 2-1.
Yeah, a little off-speed pitch there. It surprised the hitter, but just wasn't able to drop it down into the zone enough.
2-1 pitch. And that's popped up on the infield. Pitcher calling for it, and Dallas Snyder makes the catch, one down.
It's one of those plays traditionally you want, one of your infielders to take, not the pitcher. But the ball just wasn't in the air long enough for the third baseman and shortstop to get there. And that was the right move by Dallas to take that ball.
Strike one called on the first pitch.
Batter was squaring for a bunt there, obviously, but he was bunting for a hit. There's no runners on base. There's no reason for a sacrifice, but he kind of showed it early.
0-2 is the count. Jackson Walker is the leadoff hitter for Vinton County.
Sometimes you'll see batters do that just to kind of get themselves used to the timing of the pitcher and just kind of feel the ball hitting the bat.
Dallas Snyder with the 0-2, and that bounces up there for a ball. One-two pitch and a line drive, and that's a base hit past shortstop. So nice hit there by the leadoff hitter for Vinton County in the lineup, Jackson Walker.
Yeah. Dallas left that ball a little bit high, a little bit up in the zone, and right kind of in the sweet spot for the hitter.
Donovan Holcomb will hit. One down for Vinton County in the top of the third. They have a runner at first. Vikings up 2-0. Dallas Snyder with the pitch, runner on the move. Cameron Sullivan with the throw, and no one was covering the bag. Nice backup by the center fielder of the Buckeyes, Walker Stone.
Yeah, it was just a little bit late getting to the bag. Runner had a good break. You can just tell everybody's having some trouble with their just gripping the ball and also just the footing right now. And infield starting to puddle up more and more.
Athens Sports Cycle stolen base for Jackson Walker, the Vikings. Donovan Holcomb at the plate. 0-1 count, the pitch, and hit towards Walker Stone. He's under it, and he pulls it in. Runner will tag and head on to third base. And it gets away past the third baseman. Now the runner coming home, the third of the plate, and he'll be in there safely.
Yeah.
Jackson Walker, and the Vikings lead 3-0.
Probably one of those plays where the relay, you just kind of eat it a little bit, make sure that, because you're not going to throw him out at third there, just get it back into the infield.
So Vikings lead 3-0, nobody on base, 2 down. Braden West at the plate.
Yeah, it's 2 outs, Jim. I'm checking the scoreboard. We can't see the scoreboard because of our cover here, our canvas, so we have to kind of duck down to see it.
And there's a bunt. Dallas Snyder covers it up, throws towards Logan Meek, and he's safe.
It was just kind of a quick transition that Logan had to make there to make the catch, and he wasn't able to keep his foot on the bag.
So Braden West with a bunt single for Vinton County. 2 down here in the top of the third. Vikings up 3-0. Jace Moore at the plate. He had a base hit last time up.
That's the second hitter this inning that's at least attempted a bunt. And it's kind of a smart play because you know the infield's a little slick, and so you're putting the pressure on the defense to make the play. And it worked out for Vinton County there.
And that's hit foul down the third base line.
Although Dallas did field that ball real well, just the throw wasn't on line, and maybe the ball was wet. He picked up a wet ball and tried to throw it, and wasn't able to be completely accurate with the throw. And Vinton County gets on base.
1-1 pitch, and that's low, ball 2. Again, Jace Moore at the plate for Vinton County. He is the cleanup hitter for the Vikings. 2 out, and a runner at first. Dallas Snyder brings it home, and it's low. Three-one count. Snyder with the pitch, and that's low, ball 4. So Jace Moore will head down to first, and Braden West will head from first to second.
And if you're Dallas and Coach Stalter here, just you need to kind of keep it here, keep it 3-0. You're fine. We can still get back into this game, but you don't want them to attack on any more runs this inning.
Cole Ousley at the plate, and that strike 1 call. 2 down for the Vikings here in the top of the 3rd. They lead 3-0. First and second are the runners for the Vikings. 0-1 count on the batter, Cole Ousley. And that's going to be popped up and over the back screen.
So Dallas is ahead here, pitching-wise, and he's got his whole repertoire that he could use with this 0-2 count.
And the pitch low, ball 1. Looking to see if Cole Ousley might go fishing there.
Right. Yep. Good pitch. That's a good decision. See if sometimes those batters will give you those free strikeouts, right?
1-2 pitch, Dallas Snyder, and
nice
that's
pitch.
Strike 3 call, and that'll end the inning. Buckeyes trail the Vikings 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, the umpire dramatized that one a little bit. I wasn't sure he was going to call it, but that was definitely a nice pitch. So, Dallas and the Buckeyes did a nice job of just holding that to where they got 1 run that inning.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a nice job. You had a couple issues there in the field, a couple nice hits there by Vinton County, or at least one. And then, of course, you had the bunt attempt, or I should say the bunt for a hit.
Athletic Director Jay Klein and head coach Josh Stalter talking to the umpires.
Yeah. They're talking over. They know it's difficult to play in these, and when you really don't have the, we don't have the kind of equipment that they would have at the major league level, or even the minor league level, or heck, even college level. So being able to get out there and put the ball dry and everything else, field dry, I should say, it's just not possible. And so every bit of rain that hits this field it's going to get soaked up into what we have here.
Imagine if this game would get called because of the weather before it's declared an official game, they'd probably finish it when the Buckeyes go down to MacArthur and play at Vinton County.
Yeah, probably so. Yep, that's typically how they do it. The rain is lightening up a little bit.
As you mentioned earlier, you can see some puddles there behind first base on down the first base line.
Yeah, and I can see some out there toward shortstop too.
Vinton County leading 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Leading off the Buckeyes' 3rd inning will be designated hitter Caden Young.
Yeah, and the Buckeyes hitters need to quickly here try to figure out the Vinton County pitcher, who's he has, again, he doesn't throw the ball extremely hard, but what he does a really nice job of is changing up the speeds of the ball. And you don't have to throw the ball really hard, honestly, to strike a batter out. You just need to be able to change up the speeds and change up the locations.
Swing and a miss, 0-1. Caden Young had a nice hit for the Buckeyes against the Wellston Golden Rockets last Friday night. Wind in the pitch, and it's 0-2. 0-2 pitch. Ball one.
Yeah. Walker came out here in this first batter and threw 3 heaters. He right here, he's trying to throw the ball hard.
1-2 pitch, and it's
Yeah.
called strike 3.
Got him with a little off speed there for the backwards K.
Now hitting for the Buckeyes, Levi Snedden. Jackson Walker on the mound for the Vikings. The wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss. One down here in the Buckeye third. Walker pitch, a line drive. That's a base hit up the middle by Levi Snedden.
Yeah, did a real nice job of staying back, keeping his hands back, just hitting it right back where it came from.
So 1 on and 1 out for the Buckeyes here in the bottom of the third. Walker Stone will be hitting, the Buckeye leadoff hitter.
It's mine.
Jackson Walker throws over to first, but Levi Snedden is back. Getting that uniform a little dirty in this.
Yeah, it doesn't
Wet
take
weather.
much here. You hit the ground, it's going to be mud filled.
And it gets away from the catcher, and Snedden will move on down to second base.
Walker showed bunt there and pulled it back, and catcher just wasn't. The pitch was okay. The catcher just, I'm sure the attempted bunt or the at least showing that he was going to bunt may have distracted the catcher enough to miss the pitch.
So now 1 out, a runner at second for the Buckeyes. Walker Stone at the plate. Jackson Walker out of the stretch. And that's a strike. Count is 1-1. And Walker Stone lays down a bunt, and he's got speed. Throw to first, and he's safe.
Yep.
Levi Snedden on over to third base.
Yeah, Clark, the first baseman for Vinton County, he just had some issues there handling that one. I'm sorry, that's Wells for Vinton County. And just like Vinton County tried to do to Nelsonville-York the last inning, the Buckeyes are just putting the ball in play and put some pressure on the defense,
Applying
make
a
them.
little pressure.
Yeah.
Over to first, and Walker Stone back in. Again, the Buckeyes first and third, 1 out. Buckeyes down 3-0 here in the bottom of the third. Dallas Snyder at the plate. He flew out to left field last time up.
There he goes.
And Walker Stone will take second base without a throw from the catcher.
Yeah. He had a good lead, good break on the pitch, and Vinton County decided, let's not take the chance with a runner at third base.
And that'll be a ball. 2-0 the count on Dallas Snyder. And a swing and a miss, 2-1. Dallas Snyder trying to help himself here. Of course,
He's trying.
Snyder, the pitcher for the Buckeyes.
Yeah. He was just a little bit over top of that ball. His timing was fine. He just swung a little over top of that off-speed pitch.
Pitch and a swing and a miss. 2-2 is the count. Buckeyes second and third with 1 out. Vikings up 3-0 here in the bottom of the third. 2-2 count to Dallas Snyder. And he hits it foul down the first base line.
Just cut it off the end of the bat, but you can tell he's starting to get a little bit better timing here with the pitcher. I wouldn't be surprised if Walker here comes with an off-speed pitch.
And that'll be high, so the count is now full, 3-2.
Yeah, I think it was an off-speed pitch. He just wasn't able to get enough of the laces to get the break on it.
Jackson Walker out of the stretch. And that's high, ball four, so the Buckeyes have the bases loaded and one out.
Yeah, it's a really good opportunity for the Buckeyes. They want to take advantage of this.
Logan Meek will come to the plate.
Only one out, bases loaded. You want to get some runs on the board here.
And strike one is the call. Looks like Jackson Walker now going out of the windup with the bases loaded. High, 1-1 the count.
Yeah, he basically went to the wind up once we had runners on second and third.
One pitch, and that's a strike. 1-2 the count. Pitch, and that's ball two.
It's a little bit inside.
Buckeyes with the bases loaded and one out. 2-2 count on Logan Meek. Buckeyes down 3-0 here in the bottom of the third. Pitch, and it's strike three call.
Real slow curveball there, 12-6 curveball that kind of buckled Meek a little bit. I don't think he was really worried about getting hit by it, but he was just kind of what's going on here, and he froze up on it.
Usually on a full count in high school, you're expecting a fastball.
Absolutely.
But the pitcher for Vinton County, Jackson Walker, had confidence in throwing that off-speed pitch.
Yeah, you can definitely tell he knows how to control his pitches.
So the Buckeyes now will have their cleanup hitter up, Cameron Sullivan, 2 down, bases loaded.
Big moment in the game right here.
And that's called a strike.
Yeah, I think Cameron thought that was a little high. It was definitely at the top of the zone.
Pitch, and that one is high, 1-1. One pitch. And that's popped up towards the third baseman. He's under it, and he's got it.
Yeah, just another off-speed pitch there, and Cameron just mistimed it. It was one of those pitches that it was an off-speed pitch, but it was so high it didn't really have much break to it, and sometimes those pitches will get you.
So the Buckeyes leave the bases loaded. Vinton County, they hold on to their 3-0 lead as we head to the top of the fourth. Again, we appreciate our sponsors, the Rocky Outdoor Gear Store, Hocking Valley Motors, Air Claws Heating and Cooling, and Athens Sports Cycles. Make sure you get out and visit our sponsors. Again, they allow you to watch Nelsonville-York varsity baseball and softball games free of charge. Vikings leading 3-0 as we head to the fourth inning. Right now, the rain has subsided. So we might be able to get this game in after all. Of course, we were talking earlier during the delay that once you have a delay, then you might be fighting darkness late in the game. But hopefully we'll be able to get the game in. Dallas Snyder will remain on the mound for the Buckeyes. Vinton County will have Wyatt Channel leading off their fourth inning. Vinton County scored 2 runs in the top of the second inning and then added another run in the top of the third. Again, the Vikings leading 3-0. Here in the top of the fourth, Snyder delivers, and it's a strike. Nice pitch. White Channel at the plate for Vinton County. The 1 pitch, and that's strike 2. So Dallas Snyder way ahead, 0-2.
What I missed, Jim? Couple pitches.
2 pitches, but 2 strikes for Dallas
There we
Snyder.
go.
0-2 pitch, and a ground ball hit the third. Throw to first, and the runner is out. Nice play by the Buckeyes, Caleb Rexford.
Nice job by Rexford getting his body in front of the ball. Taking your time, making a good throw.
Gavin Clark will now hit for the Vikings. Snyder with the pitch. Ball 1.
Obviously, we would have really liked to have gotten some runs at that last inning. We were bases loaded with 1 out. But still, you just want to keep it in range here. Keep it at 3-0. I think we're okay.
Ball 2. And that's down low.
I think he went there. Yep.
And he did go, so that's a strike.
Yeah, that was a good call by the umpire.
Snyder with the pitch, and that's inside. 3-1 to count. Gavin Clark at the plate for Vinton County. Dallas Snyder with the pitch. Strike 2, full count.
Yeah. Dallas is doing a nice job, controlling the runs that have been given up. I think were all, by error. So I don't even think he's given up an earned run this game.
3-2 pitch high, ball 4. 1 out walk. Gavin Clark heads on down to first base.
I think the second walk that he's given up.
Yes.
And in these conditions, you'll take that. I'm sure Coach Stalter will take that in these conditions, him only giving up 2 walks thus far.
Austin fought up to bat for Vinton County, and that's ball 1. Again, Gavin Clark on first base for the Vikings. 1-0 pitch, 2-0. To a delivery from Snyder, and that's up in the air. And it's caught, and the Buckeyes will double off the runner that was on first, Gavin Clark. Nice play by the Buckeyes.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the first base coach for Vinton County, maybe he just didn't see it well, but I didn't hear him yelling back all too quickly. And apparently the base runner also didn't see it off the bat too well and got caught off the base. So that ball was not hit very deep.
So we head to the bottom of the fourth. Buckeyes down 3-0. As you mentioned, the Buckeyes down 3. They didn't want to give up any more because they're right in this game right now.
No, they're absolutely in the game. Yeah. I mean, if they just last innings, proof of that. 1 hit in that last inning, 1 more hit, and we're on the board, maybe have it tied up. So, yeah, it's definitely still plenty of game left here. So that's obviously an excellent job by Dallas Snyder of keeping the Vikings at limited scoring here so far.
Zach Richardson will lead it off for the Buckeyes here in the bottom of the fourth, getting the Vikings up 3-0.
The rain has completely subsided, although it's just you can just feel the moisture. You can definitely tell major weather shift happening here in our neck of the woods.
And again, since we had the delay, we now might be fighting darkness to get this game in.
That's possible. That's a good point, Jim, because it's definitely. I don't know if maybe more storms are coming. Folks, I don't know. We can't check the radar here. We're down in the black hole, is what I like to call it, because you have such a difficult time sometimes getting any kind of cell phone signal down here in the valley. And it does look a little dark. It's definitely darkened up here. But like you said, Jim, that could just be the sun setting on us.
Again, Zach Richardson will lead it off. He had a single for the Buckeyes. His last at bat. Jackson Walker delivers, and it's high, ball one.
Yeah, and that was really nice at bat the last time, and so I certainly want to try to follow that up with another. Coming our way, Jim. You got it?
Not quite.
I think old Gary Sullivan should have had that one. Where you at on that, Sullivan?
Ball falls foul.
Old classmate there, Gary. Of course, his son's out here playing today, and it's always good to see some of my old buddies and old classmates here.
Count now 2-1 on Zach Richardson. See if the Buckeyes can get runners on base once again and give it another shot.
Yeah.
Get some of them home.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, bunting the ball is not a bad idea still. I mean, it's still going to be difficult fielding right now. And just put the ball in play, put the pressure on the defense.
Walker with a pitch and a ground ball towards third base right down the line. And Richardson.
Oh, wow. That
is called out. A bang, bang play.
That was a great throw by that third baseman. Great play. Yeah. And let me catch the name here. It was Chanel. I believe that's how it's pronounced.
What? Chanel?
Yep. Number 7.
With the Rocky Outdoor Gear Store big glove.
That was definitely a big glove. That was a very impressive play by a young man. I thought for sure coming off the bat, it was almost like a bunt, a long bunt down the third base line. I figured it's either going to go foul or he's going to be safe, and sure enough, they were able to make the play.
Caleb Rexford at the plate. Takes strike one on the second pitch, 1-1 count.
Sounds like it's starting to rain again on us, Jim.
And strike two called. 1-2 count. Jackson Walker still on the mound for Vinton County. He winds and delivers the 1-2.
And on the shoulder. Yep.
Hit batter, and Caleb Rexford will head on down to first base.
Again, just a really soft off-speed pitch, and that's not even enough to where you even have to rub it out. But you'll take the base. Need all the Buckeyes want all the runners they can get right now.
Stevie Blair at the plate for the Buckeyes. Popped out to first last time up. And that's popped up. And that's going to fall between the catcher and the pitcher in foul territory.
Yeah, that was a play that looked like it could have been made, but there was just some confusion, no communication happening between the pitcher and the catcher, and the ball was able to safely fall.
So strike one on Stevie Blair. Buckeyes with a runner at first, one down. Here in the bottom of the fourth. Walker with the pitch and a ground ball at the middle. Shortstop, and it goes by in the center field. And the Buckeyes will have first and second and one out.
Tell you what happened, Jim. That ball hit right at the edge of the infield where the grass transitions into the dirt. And, you got that little lip there, and it hit right there and bounced right over the shortstop's glove. Probably the official score will probably put that down as an error, but that was just one of those unfortunate hops that happens sometimes in baseball. The Buckeyes will certainly take it.
So the Buckeyes threatening once again. First and second, one out. Here in the bottom of the fourth, and at the plate is Caden Young.
Got something going on here. Got another lightning strike. Yeah. Caden was like excited to get this out bat, and he just kind of threw his head up like, oh, man, you kidding me? We're going to go to another delay.
So the players will come off the field, head to the dugouts. Athletic Director Jay Klein heading out onto the field.
They're going to have a conversation as to whether or not we try to bring this one back. Again, folks, we can't check the radar on our phones here, so we don't know what's coming. I do hear thunder, though. Somebody must have saw the lightning.
Again, it is raining again, as you mentioned earlier. There for a while, we didn't have any rain.
Yeah, it was definitely darkening up. We could tell something was happening.
You can hear the thunder.
It looks like the coaches are going to talk it over too. Again, the most important thing is to make sure everybody's safe. There's always another day that you can finish out this game. Like you mentioned, Jim, most likely the scenario would be that when the Buckeyes go to play at Vinton County, I don't think they've played at Vinton County yet. I'd have to check the schedule, but if not, when they go to Vinton County, they would just basically restart this game in Vinton County.
Finish it up and then play the regularly scheduled game.
Mm-hmm.
Get a meeting of the coaches along with Jay Klein out at home plate.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to call it, Jim. Everybody's shaking hands and saying, we'll see you in another day here. And I do believe they have to at least get through 4 for it to be an official game. And I'm not sure. Maybe you can ask one of these officials here. Were we did we finish 4? Were we headed into the top of the 4th or bottom of the 4th? Okay. Yeah. That's all right. It was a heck of a play by third baseman.
It'd be best if we finished it over here, but I'll talk to him tomorrow and we'll figure it out.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Yep. Thank you. So Jim's just talking to Jay Klein there, the athletic director for the Buckeyes. What do you have to say, Jim?
Well, he said that the best scenario is to finish the game here at a later date, but that is a possibility of finishing it up before we play at Vinton County down in MacArthur.
Yeah, there's still plenty of season left. I could certainly see that happen. If it was later in the season, then you're just trying to figure out how you can do it no matter what, right? You're just trying to get it in. But certainly you want to have that home field advantage if you can have it. But, yep, Jim, I think we're definitely done for today. And I was surprised, honestly, that we got any of it in when we looked at that forecast earlier in the week.
So, again, we were in the bottom of the 4th. This game rain shortened and lightning shortened game. Vinton County leading the game 3-0. We were in the bottom of the 4th. The Buckeyes, home half of the 4th inning, Buckeyes had a little threat going on with 2 runners on and just 1 out. But again, this will have to be finished at another time.
Yep, no doubt. And so, we're going to get out of here, folks, before we really, it's starting to come down, and you can tell it's whatever's coming is going to be worse than what we dealt with, about an hour or so ago.
Again, we thank our sponsors, Rocky Outdoor Gear Store, Hocking Valley Motors, Air Claws Heating and Cooling, and Athens Sports Cycles. Again, this game, in a weather delay, it will be finished at a later date. Buckeyes trailing 3-0 in the bottom of the 4th. Also, we thank Michael Morrison on camera and Corbin Wilbur, our technical engineer.
Yeah, no doubt. These guys, they're sticklers, man. They're still out there doing it. We need to get off here so we can get these guys home.
So for Tad Steinbrink, this is Jim McCumber saying so long, everybody.